Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Watson. He's got Fuller. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
And the running game is headlined by Lamar Miller, the veteran out of the University of Miami, who gives you tough inside runs and some speed to burn when he gets into the open field. He's the only player in NFL history with 2 touchdown runs over 95 yards in his career.
A 4-receiver set here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 6. Here's Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. A look there at how the Raiders will start defensively. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Watson. And that will be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A Raider first down, 17 yards. This game, this matchup means a little more to the Carr family. Derek Carr's brother David, of course, the first overall pick in 2002 by these Houston Texans. Spent 5 years as the Texans starter, and then he would eventually spend 6 more years as a backup in the league at various spots before calling it a career. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ballgame.
Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. First catch for the NFL's leader in receiving yards at the midway point. It's a first down. The numbers for Williams a week ago: 5 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
And aren't we approaching the halfway point of the season? I mean, we're midway through this one, and we're seeing big numbers from him just about every week, and that's why he's leading the league.
On first down, Jacobs. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. From just shy of midfield, Carr. He'll find his running back here, Richard. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. A run through the starters defensively for the Texans. They were excellent a week ago in that victory over the Colts.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but pretty nice effort.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 33. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
This is Jalen Richard, the fourth-year man from Southern Miss. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Here's Carr. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Isaiah Crowell, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Back to throw, Watson. It's complete, Stills. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. 23 yards, the final tally. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
To throw is Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he finds Stills, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 18.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Watson now going to run the option right. Stepping up, he'll try and run. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. At the 18-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Throwing on 2nd down. Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
He gets this one to Johnson.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on.
A 31-yard attempt.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. I'll guarantee you Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use him a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
So here are the Raiders now to take over. They've got the lead right now in this ball game, and they're on the heels of that nice win last week over the Packers. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They begin with a run by Crowell. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Carr to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Waller.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. Rush coming, and he's taken down. DJ Reader drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down.
Seems to me that our friend Old Momentum, I think he's definitely changed teams in this game.
It's only going to grow after that sack, and now, heck, they can get the ball back here and possibly even get the lead. A reminder, later tonight, Sunday Night Football, will see a game in the NFL 100 Series, a rematch of the very first AFL-NFL Championship game, later, of course, known as Super Bowl I. It pits the Packers against the Chiefs from Arrowhead, and that should be a fun one. They begin the drive with Johnson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. To throw is Carr. Catch made, it's Moreau. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. To throw, it's Carr. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Carr. Caught by Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
They'll run on 1st down. Richard. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. 2 running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? 2 minutes to play in this first half, 7-3 our score. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down. Carr. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. Tyrell Williams, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Watson on first down. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Cleveland Farrell. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now it's Watson. And Stills bringing it in. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
I got you, Pop.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. Pretty effective blitz there to stop the draw play right in its tracks.
And actually, when they blitz, draw play is supposed to work very well. You're supposed to have them bypass the runner, and he slips past them. But they put their eyes in the right place, took away all the creases, and slowed him down in a big way.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll start with a couple of new playoff teams from a year ago. The LA Chargers on the road in Chicago. And that one tied 14 apiece in the second quarter. From there, let's head over to New Era Field to see what...
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They've got the lead. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, right at the 40. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Here's a 4-receiver look now. 3 of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. DJ Reader, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Now Carr. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Watson, wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On 1st down, Watson. This is Akins hauling in the short pass. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. .4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and the running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. He finds his target, Fuller, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller, and he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now Carlos Hyde in the game. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And this is caught at the 8. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Here's Johnson, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans get a bit closer.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it makes the score 21-10. That time a 9-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
He's coming. Double up, double up.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Well, this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch the safety creep. 29. 29.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And room there to work it inside the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Back now in Houston. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. From the 24, Carr. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back of the 29. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack. Just held on to the football too long there, Charles. That's point blank, right?
Yeah, I agree with that totally. You've got to have that internal clock that goes in your head that says either get rid of the football or flush and go and use your legs and try and pick up the first down. I think he hung in there too long, and the blitz got to him.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
This fielded at the 2. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, Why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Sometimes it looks pretty simple, batting the ball away, but oftentimes there's some pretty good teaching and practice that goes into it. Being able to get to the receiver, not interfere, and get his hands through the football and knock it away.
And all the way inside the Oakland 20 into the red zone. A huge play there for Houston. 47 yards. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
So not quite a first and goal just yet as they come up now second and inches. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he'll get nothing out of that one. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Check three.
From the gun, here's Watson. The quick slant caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kenny Stills, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
Big score, first step in their attempt to climb back into this game.
Yes, but still some work to do as they get within a score here. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Tyrell Williams heading back out onto the field now. He's been a load for them to handle defensively, I know that much.
Well, look at him. He's got 7 catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit because not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them to handle?
That's right.
Agreed.
7 catches, as you said, over 100 yards. Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Carr completes it. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
On second down, Jacobs trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Carr. He's got his man. It's Williams. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Carr now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches at the 36-yard line.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Once again, it's Jacobs. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Counter play with Jacobs. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Watch twits.
Carr to throw. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. On first down, Jacobs. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches at the Texans' 9-yard line.
An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches.
Here we go.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Crowell. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Here's Jacobs. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. To throw is Carr. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away.